The recording stopped. So this is probably gonna be a two-parter of just this one episode. But yeah, so this man in a fine purple trench coat almost, a deep navy blue trench coat with fine ornamentation all over it and spec and a pair of glasses with gold rims, like circular glasses, and the frames are made out of glass or made out of like brass or gold or something. And above that, there's two more ones that are like lenses that focus even more, as well as a large rifle on his back and a gun on his side in a holster. And he has white hair and decently well-defined features. And this is Percy when he was in his prime. Like this is Vecna fight Percy. Like this is the way he looks anyway. Cause like that I would consider that his prime. Like so, take that as you will. So Izuku's gonna be like, ooh. So yeah, that's gonna be what Izuku is like. No, Percy. That's what Percy is like. And so yeah. And Izuku is gonna stumble back and fall on his rear end. Gonna fall on his butt. Like, who are you? I'm gonna say, my name is Percival von Friedrichstein. Hold on, let me see if I can say this correctly. Alright, this is me talking, not Percy. Percival von Friedrichstein Kowalski Durolo III. Nailed it! Yeah! But my name is Percival von Friedrichstein Kowalski Durolo III. But you can call me Percy. As he reaches his hand out for Izuku. And grabs Izuku's hand and pulls him up. It appears that my soul is in your mindscape. And it appears you have Hex as well. Quite funny. Same ability I had. Or have. Izuku can't use his quirk yet. Like he's not able to use it. Like he has a quirk, but he can't use it yet. Like that's why he kind of got bullied a lot, and he couldn't really do anything. Tell you what, kid. And Percy goes, tell you what, kid. You get bullied a lot, and I've been seeing that. But I haven't been able to talk to you until just now. And how old are you now? 9? You're getting older. Gonna look like me eventually. But yeah, Izuku's gonna say that. That's what Percy says. Like, I don't remember Percy's personality exactly, but I remember he was kind but rough. He was rough around the edges, but he was kind. And this is the kinder side of Percy. And like, Izuku's gonna get that has the more kinder side, but he's gonna pick up some of the rougher edges. Like his edges are gonna need a little bit of polishing. But they're not cube, but like he has edges. He's gonna get edges. Like he said, tell you what, kid. I'll help you get stronger, so you can help this world like I helped it long ago. Like the whole history of Vox Machina and how the world used to be, that's completely lost to time. Like paladins and clerics and barbarians and fighters and rangers and druids and wizards and warlocks and all of that. That's been forgotten to time. So, and sorcerers as well. But like, all of that's been lost to time and no one remembers them. Nothing more than fables and fairy tales now of what the world that would be told to little children. And the story of Vox Machina is one of those tales, but it's been it's been modified for little kids. So like, like instead of saying they killed the big bad monster, they defeated the big bad monster, and instead of torture, they convince. Instead of saying instead of saying they tortured the guy, they say they convinced him to tell the truth, and like they defeated the big bad enemy guy, and slayed dragons, and evil beasts. But they never say kill, and they never say hurt or anything. They say injured, and they say hurt. That's about it. So yeah. Or at least those are the ones told to little kids, and then like 8th grade, you would read. There'd be like a book. Some teachers would have 8th graders read books about it. Like it's seen as a storybook, and Percy tells them like that was actually actual history, and like that's how the world actually used to be. A lot more. And he tells them that in times to come, you'll read about a group called Vox Machina, and he says that he was a member of that group. Now, if you're somehow not able to pick up, now, I would just like to say that if you're still unable to tell who I am talking about, you're either dumb or need to watch Critical Role, because like, whew, or you haven't watched the first campaign. In which case, I mean, fair enough. I'm not a big fan of the second campaign. Like, it's good, but just not my taste. Not something I enjoy watching or listening to. So yeah, I like the first campaign. I really liked. The second campaign, it's good, but not for me. Not for me. It kind of is, but like, I prefer to make what ifs for you guys and listen to other two YouTubers make what ifs, because like, that's just fun. Oh, I almost had a heart attack. I thought it wasn't recording. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm ranting now. So yeah, he tells them a more true and realistic version of what actually happened, but he keeps it to where a 9-year-old wouldn't get traumatized or get nightmares or anything. And he says, listen, in your sleep, if you want to, I can train you, help you be able to use what you call these quirks, I believe you call them. And as that is an ability, as Hex is the same ability I have. And he tells him about how he uses it, and how useful it was, and like how good he was. Like he tells him about what his life was like. But like 1 hour in the dream world is like a minute in, like, not like that, but like 1 night's sleep is about a day, 2 days. So yeah, like, and about an hour before, so yeah, he just tells them stories and all that. But I feel like he has older Percy's attitude of like, and like, cause like Percy did have kids, I'm sure. Like, if the Mighty Nine have met or have gone to White Castle? No, Whitestone. I haven't. If they have, I haven't made it that far. I know. I'm not anywhere near that if it happened. But yeah, so I have no clue. But I assume he had kids with Vex. It's like quarter elves. He had quarter elf kids that would outlive him, I guarantee. And his wife outlived him by a large amount as well. Like, and she outlived quite a few of the people there. Cause like it was mostly humans that lived there, on that lived in Whitestone, and Percy was the they were the ruling family, but it worked a bit differently. Like, if you haven't watched it, you don't. You'll. If you've watched it, you know. But yeah, if you haven't watched it, go watch it, because it's good. Or at least try watching it. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. Yeah, just watch like 2 or 3 episodes and see if you like it. So yeah, just to do that. It's pretty good. I might, and let me know if I should do other characters from Vox Machina, because I would love to. Cause, that just sounds cool. I'd love to. That just, what if he was Grog's reincarnation? Oh, that'd be so horrible. He would be a vigilante, I guarantee it. And his quirk would be rage, that's for sure. Or no, his quirk would be barbarian. Or something like that. I don't know. Yeah. So Izuku's gonna be and he just tells them stories for a few hours. Then Izuku, an hour before they have to wake up, he says, "Tell you what, kid. Do you want to become strong so you can become a great hero? I will train you in your sleep. I can't train your... I won't be able to help you train your physical body. That's on you when you're awake. But I can help you learn how to fight and how to make things like I did, and I can't anymore. So all of that would have to... So, And he doesn't tell him... Of course he doesn't tell him everything, because, he had a long life. But he tells him a decent amount about his kids and his wife, and he didn't live just long enough to have grandkids. He just didn't. Elves live 1,000 years, and half elves live to 500, and I'd say quarter elves probably have a few hundred years, 200 or 300 years. They probably wouldn't be mature until he was dead, and even then they probably wouldn't be dating. So yeah. So yeah. Anyway, doesn't matter. So he says, well, it looks like your alarm's about to go off and you're going to have to go to school. But just know that if you need to talk, I'll be here. I can't talk to you while you're awake. When you're asleep, I can talk to you. So yeah, Izuku, 10 minutes later, after 10 more minutes of waiting, Izuku's alarm goes off, or his mom comes to get him up, or something, I don't know. So yeah, Izuku would be oh, was that a dream, or was that real? So he just says, he's still kind of tired, so he doesn't know. So guess I'll just have to figure it out tonight. It was a really vivid dream, and yeah, he says, and Percy showed him modified versions of his own memories, and Izuku is gonna be, I'd say he may get a bit stronger than Percy did, because he doesn't he doesn't have to worry about training his mind while he's awake that much, and he can just spend that time, so he can just mentally train in his sleep. And Percy's gonna train him on a lot of different things. So But yeah, so that's gonna go down. So yeah, Izuku's gonna be like, ooh. Inko says, honey, dinner's, or breakfast is ready, or something, I don't know. So yeah, Izuku gonna be like, coming, mom. And Izuku gonna be like, ooh, what's for breakfast? And Inko just says pancakes. Or, nah. She has a good bowl of cereal for him. Usually it's just a normal bowl, but she had some oranges. She also sliced some oranges. Like, his birthday was yesterday, so yesterday he had a big stack of pancakes. But she still wants to make him feel good, 'cause like, and he said, and like, Percy told him how to use hex, and like how it's done, and every little intricacy of it. He doesn't have to say anything. He just has to wave at someone's direction, and the smoke, the darkness just billows out of his hand. But he's considered as good as quirkless in his school. So yeah, like he's considered about as good as a quirkless person because he can't use his quirk. Like he's just a late bloomer. But the adults just see that, hey, he's just a late bloomer. He's probably just a late bloomer or something. And Inko, Hisashi, and what's her name? Bakugo's mom. Mitsuki knows. So yeah, Mitsuki knows. So yeah. Oh, just so you guys know, if you hear that popping, that's my shoulders. So yeah, that's what that is. Don't pay attention to that. So yeah. And Izuku will be like, ooh, waiting, ting, tang, walla, walla, bing, bang. Oh, I'm sorry for cussing. What's cussing's what I do. And if you worked with who I worked with, you'd love. I bet you'd cuss too. Now you say it. Now you may say I'm. What was it? Foul. Maybe that I have no class, but that doesn't matter. I mess it up. It doesn't matter. On to the next thing. All you need to know is that you lost the game. If you know what that means, you know. There shouldn't be any little kids watching this, but like I have it so that little kids can't watch this. So like that's how I have it registered, because like I don't want to deal with COPPA. Like I'm under 18 myself, but like, ooh, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. No, I didn't. You didn't hear anything. Hey, I just want to let you guys know that if any of you fap to my voice, you're pedophiles. No, I'm kidding. But like, for real though, like just, yeah, I don't want to deal with whatever it's called. That child thing that's on everyone's asses. Yeah. About protecting the children. Meanwhile, if you go to YouTube Kids, I'm pretty sure there's actual porn. Yeah. So yeah. Or like stuff like that. So yeah. But yeah, I'm getting off my track again and I'm ranting also. So like, this has nothing to do with the video. So now I'm just stalling for time. Gotta get that timestamp up. I'm not a YouTube. I'm not monetized. And I don't get money from this, but like, Hey! 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 If any company wants to sponsor me, could you? Like, come on. Oh, delicious. Nice crust, man. Soft air tracer BBs. Buy them at your local Walmart or something. I don't know. Like, for real though, if any company wants to sponsor me, for some reason, like, if you would, please. Like, I don't get money, and I probably won't for quite a while. I know I probably won't get any sponsorships, but if you could, would you? Like, I'd do a shout out for $5. To be honest with you. But yeah, but I'd probably do it if you just. I'd probably do a shout out for 10 if you manage to get me 10 subscribers. I'd do a shout out if you manage to if you subscribe to me. Like, if you're a channel and you subscribe to me, I'll shout you out. Now you might say that's bribery, but I just see that as a sense of community and subscriptions. No, I'm kidding, my guy. I'm kidding. I kid. But yeah, if you would, please. So yeah, that day at school, Bakugo tries to mess with Deku, and like I'd say Bakugo's quirk is based on. I'd say he makes it so Bakugo is attacks do less damage. I'm gonna change it so instead of like he could lower attack, defense, special attack, special defense, like that kind of stuff. Like special attack is like psychic attacks or stuff like that, and then there's physical attacks, and physical defense, and special defense, and like most people have. It's mostly just physical attacks people have to worry about, but he can do psychic attacks. But his hex is different from Percy's, cause like, So yeah. But Bakugo tries to mess with him, and he just decreases Bakugo's attack power, I guess. Like, so he makes his explosions weaker. Like, overall, so like now they're only at like 75% of their full strength. So like they don't hurt at nearly as much, but they still have the same repercussions against Bakugo. So yeah, it just doesn't hurt other people as much. So if your quirk has a backlash, it ain't going to change that. The amount of energy you put in is going to stay. Now I'd say Uraraka is a special attack. Like she changes your nature in a way, so like you have zero damage, so stuff like that. Yeah, I guess. But that's not something you can really change. Like it just either happens or it doesn't. They might be able to make it so she feels wheezy quicker than she would otherwise. Or make it harder for her to do that. I don't know. Figure something out when we get there. So yeah. He hexes Bakugo. Alright. People see this. Oh, look. What is that? Looks like Izuku unlocked his quirk. It looks really weak. It's just a bunch of shadows. There's smoke. He just surrounded Bakugo with smoke. That's all it is. And He can also decrease speed and physical strength as well. And other stuff like that. So yeah, Izuku gonna be like that. He gonna be over here murking fools. No, I kid. So yeah, that's and like Bakugo's moves. He doesn't make it. He doesn't make him weaker. His attack's weaker, but he does make him more sluggish, so it's easier to dodge. So like making his attacks weaker won't help him too much if they still hit. So, but yeah, he makes him a decent amount slower. It only changes a person by 25%. If he really trains really hard, he might be able to get it down to 50%. But that's about as hot. That's about the max. So yeah, that's gonna happen. And so like yeah, he's able to deal with Bakugo a little bit better than he would normally. But if it, maybe it's like some kind of weird enhancement. Like then they remember. Wait, didn't he say it was like hex or something? Like it affects the other person's in a way, like, huh. No. And then they look like Bakugo's a bit slower than he usually is. His movements are predictable, like even to them, and Izuku is going to be a good hero to team up with. Like teaming up with him is really good because like he can just make that person you're fighting just weaker and giving you the edge. And I don't know if I should give him one for all of this. I probably won't. But if you got enough of you guys want it to happen, I might. Like if 2 of you guys say to give him one for all, I might. I'll consider it. Like if 3 of you do, by the time I post the next one, I probably will give him one for all. But yeah. Where is it? Where'd it go? Please tell me that's not what I knocked off earlier. I swear if any of you make a joke about that, it's not that kind of knockoff. Huh. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Yeah, I have asthma. For those of you that don't know. Yeah. Oh yeah. It's like I'm not puffer. Ooh, I just got lightheaded. I think I used maybe a tiny bit too much. It doesn't matter. Anyway, on to the next thing. So, yeah. Like, Izuku doesn't win, but like he does better than like normally he wouldn't even try to fight, but like the urge to just fight and like a little bit of it, like he knew it's like he had fought before, but he'd never fought before, but he gained the experience of like having fighting 10 times before, like being in a few fights. So yeah. But he has the experience of being in a few fights. Not many. Like, no more than 10. Maybe not even 5. But yeah. So that's all you need to know. So Izuku gonna be like that. Like, Bakugo gets kind of mad at him. But he kind of gets like, okay, he has his quirk now. Like, he doesn't... He realizes that he was doing a bit worse than he normally would, so he thought he was just having an off day or something, but he also noticed that Izuku was doing better, than he normally would. So maybe he was just took martial arts training. Like he didn't know, but like. So yeah, that's all that you need to know. So yeah, Izuku got him back. Ooh ah, ooh ah. No, didn't do it right that time. But yeah, he was able to dodge a few hits. Like he got burned on his arm though. Like he blocked it. Like he was throwing one directly at his face, but then he got an explosion thrown right at his face. But then he just blocked with his arms, just like putting him in front of his face like a boxer. It's like his face didn't get burned. His hair got singed, but and it's gonna stink. But like, yeah, nothing you need to worry about. Like, his hair is gonna stink all day, but it's gonna have that unmistakable smell of burned hair. Like, if you know what that smells like, oh, it ain't good. Like, it's not as bad as burnt chocolate, but it's pretty bad. It's strong like that. You know, like, burnt chocolate will clear a house. I'm not kidding. Like, you just put enough, like, a microwave. Like, you put a Hershey's bar in a microwave and just put it in there for a long time. It's gonna stank. Yeah, it's gonna stink. So that's all you need to know. So Izuku gonna be like, I need to get on to the next thing. So yeah, he gets better. Like he does fine in school that day. Nothing else really happens. And Izuku gonna be like, so like that night, Izuku goes back home. He goes back to sleep and he meets he's back in this white room. But this time, there's a wooden stand with a few weapons on it. A few swords, tiny little shield. No, there's not a shield, but there's a few swords. There's a long sword, a rapier, a short sword. Like there's there's 4 of each weapon. So yeah, there's 2 of each weapon. And there's also another table with these contraptions at them, and at the end, like a distance away from that table, is a target. Like these 2 are separate from each other, and like there's a bit of path, and like it's a big dirt field almost that goes on for a while, but then just white. The sky is white. Like there is no. It's just a never-ending grassland, and right above it is just white. Like there is no horizon because like it doesn't curve at all. It's just infinite space. It's just infinitely large. Because like, this is Mindscape. It goes on forever, unless he gets, smacked in the head too many times. In which case it would not go on forever, but it'd go on for a really long time. And then, if he dies, it just stops existing. Or if he goes into a coma, it'd get bigger. Like, it'd get bigger than infinity. But he would be able to train even through the coma. But he's not having those dreams or anything. So Izuku's not going to be able to... Like, he wouldn't have those dreams. He'd know he was in a coma, but he wouldn't be able to wake up. Or at least for the time it would take a normal person to wake up. He'd wake up eventually, but hopefully. But yeah, it'd be a while till that happened. And he might be if he's out for a month, that's just a month of straight training. And he would eventually get bored with that, but and Izuku's going to be a part of the hero course, I know, but let me know if he should be in the support course as well. I think he should be in the support course as well. Just because he has Percy in his head, who teaches him how to engineer. And Percy gives his own ideas on what to engineer, but most of it's Izuku. Like he teaches them how to tinker and how mechanisms work, but he doesn't teach them how. He doesn't teach them everything. It's like, yeah, Izuku gonna be like that. And just so you guys know, Izuku is fully clothed while in the mindscape. So don't get any ideas. I probably just gave you the idea though, so I don't know what I'm talking about. But yeah, that's how that gonna go. Izuku gonna be like, ooh, ah. Like they just train on the sword. Like they mostly train hand to hand that night. Like they train hand to hand a lot to begin with, but then they're gonna start going a little bit into sword play, and he's gonna have a few pipes and just stuff that you might find lying around, like a knife. He's gonna train him to use those as well. So I'd say he knows how to fight with daggers. He just wasn't good at it. And he would teach Izuku a bit about that. So yeah. So yeah. So yeah, Izuku gonna be like, ooh, ah, ooh. I need to stop doing that, man. So yeah, Izuku gonna be like, I was about to do it again. I was about to do it again. I gotta stop, man. Gotta step. Yeah, it's like so yeah, they just train with swords for a few years. Like they train hand to hand for like a few months. Like that's all they do for a few months. They're like a month or two. Like they just train hand to hand. Then they go into sword play because like Percy wasn't good with hand to hand, and the sword wasn't his best weapon either. But like, he could use a sword, and he was pretty proficient with them. But that's not what he mainly used. So yeah. And I'd say I'm going to give him other stuff that allows him to put magic in his weapons. So like, Percy's going to teach him magic, but in a way that only he could use. Like this is stuff only he could use. Like his quirk is the one that allows him to use it. And like he has to get Percy's help making magic stuff. Because like he himself doesn't have magic and can't use it. Like he just has hex. So like he has to get Percy's help with anything like that. Like he has to plan ahead. It's like the night before they have to work up the plans. Like they have to, and he has. And like they're also gonna have like just a little building, like a good building, like, but it's mostly gonna be like filled to the brim with like measuring tools and like blueprints, empty blueprints. Like they haven't been used or anything. Cause like these are, and then there's also a little shack for Percy to just draw stuff up. Like they can just make blueprints and be saved there. And like he can just, and they can make blueprints, and like Percy can see blueprints that are being made, and he can help with making stuff while he's awake. But that's the only time he can talk to Izuku, and even then it's kind of limited. And it's only for like helping him with on what he can say. Because like I don't want Percy. You know what? No, scratch that. He can talk to him. He can talk to him while he's awake. And like Izuku, like for the first day, like for a few hours the first day, Izuku's just talking out loud. But then Percy just or like for a few minutes he's talking out loud. But then like Percy's like, hey kid, you know you can just talk to me mentally. Like you don't have to say the words. Just think about the word you want to say to me. Just move your throat and mouth and tongue like you're gonna say it, but don't say it. Like, just try that. Think about saying hello. And say hello in your head. But don't make any sound. You know? That's essentially how it works. So he has to think about it a tiny bit. Like, not much. Like, it's about as... He has to think about it as much as he thinks about talking. But he has to differentiate between talking and in the real world and talking to Percy. And he gets it down kind of quickly. So yeah, that happens. So that happens. Oh, you guys. I want you to. So I had an idea for a book. Alright. Oh wait. Let me know if I should give Deku a stand in another way. But, so yeah, just let me know if I should give him a stand in another thing. So that just seems something that could be cool. No, that won't. No. What if I gave him? I know what his stand would be. It'd be like doppelganger or something like that. And there's essentially like two. He has two stands essentially, but they don't have any special abilities. So like they're powerful, but they don't have that special like Zawed or that whatever. They don't have anything special like that. They don't have time stop, and they don't have whatever abilities. Like, Zawaldo is the only ability I know, because, like, I don't actually watch JoJo. I just know what stains are, and, like, I know that. Jotaro, Dio. Like, that's about all I know. I don't know much, but about most of what I know is from film theory. And that's just from talking a little bit. Like that one girl who can, or was it a guy who can tell if you're lying by sweat? Like, what? What's up with that? And I also know they're fabulous. Also, torture dance. Yeah, I'm getting off topic again. I'm going to stick that there. Don't worry about what I just said. I have a thing. On God. But yeah. So yeah, he's going to be like, ooh. I did it again. I gotta stop that, man. Like, man, that's bull. Gotta stop that. I broke my headphones kind of, so like they're kind of tracked and they don't work right perfectly. So I don't even know if you guys can hear me. I don't know if my microphone's working at all. I know audio works, but I don't know about the microphone. So yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know about that. So like, I just hope that it actually works right, because I don't actually know. Yeah, so Bakugo just kind of started leaving Midoriya alone. Like, he didn't really notice he started leaving him alone until he didn't notice him for a few days. He didn't notice until after he had started leaving him alone. Like, Deku noticed, but Bakugo didn't. And most other people didn't notice either. Except for, like, maybe one kid or something. Izuku and maybe one other kid are the only ones that noticed. Like, Izuku's the only one that really noticed right away. It took Bakugo a few days to realize he had been leaving Izuku alone. And after that point, he just like, what's the point? Hey. Cause like, he doesn't think of them as equal, but he doesn't think of them as weak. Like, so yeah. So, how you going? So yeah. So yeah. I just had a thought. I just remembered something. The peasant cannon. If you know what that means, you know what that means. If you don't, you don't. Just go to D&D TikTok and you'll know. Yes, I use TikTok. Just don't worry about it. If you go to D&D TikTok, you'll find out. It's called the peasant cannon, and it is amazing. Like, it just abuses game mechanics. That's pretty much all you need to worry about. So yeah. Oh, I swear, man. It's because I don't have any water to drink. That's why. That's why I'm like this right now. I don't have any water right now. Big sad. So yeah. I'm sorry, I just got lost in my thoughts for a moment. Oh. Yeah. ADHD. Asthma and ADHD. Yeah. So that's the thing. Also, if you're old enough to watch this, then you're old enough to know to do what I'm about to tell you to do. So, that blanket's not there. So, there is a website that you should go to. It's called bdsmtest.com. Just take the test and, just do it. It's fun. Just do. It's pretty good. Like, after you watch the video, but I think, so yeah, Percy also, so after those few months, Percy starts training him to use weapons, he mostly trains him with a sword, which, by the way, I would just like to say that in RPG games, and just games in general, the bow should not use dexterity to decide damage. It should use strength. Now, dexterity for aiming and to hit, like bonuses to hit, okay, that's not bad. But to actually do damage, not for a lot of weapons. It just doesn't work like that. Like daggers, okay, I can see that getting away with not needing a lot of strength. But a sword, okay, you need a decent amount of strength for swords. And for bows. You need a lot of strength for bows. Remember, bows weigh 100. You have to pull 100 pounds to be with one arm, while also holding the other one out straight, resisting against it. That's 100 pounds for a war bow. It's been shown that people have, some people, like skeletons of archers that have been found, they've had warped bones because of the pressure they put on them. So that should tell you how much stress they put on their bones. Like the bones actually warped. Also, fun fact. Do you know one of the possible origins of the middle finger comes from English longbowmen? Cause like, let me explain. So like, I'm not sure if this is 100% accurate. So like, do your own research. Like, always do your own research. Like, do your own research. Look at sources. You know, but yeah. But from what I understand, one of the possible origins is from English longbowmen during the 100-Year War between France and England. The French hated the English longbowmen, and if they caught a longbowman or a bowman, they would cut off their middle finger to make sure they couldn't use the bow anymore. So like, yeah. And then the English longbowmen started showing their middle finger and a sign of defiance when either retreating or something like, I don't know. But yeah, that's just a little fun fact. I'm not 100% sure it's true. Ow. Ah, just hit myself with a thing. Ah. Well, it didn't hurt my eye, it just breach of my nose, it got smacked. Which, by the way, I'm just playing with a wooden dowel, like just twirling it, and I just kind of smacked myself. So yeah. Yeah, I was just twirling it or something with my fingers. And like I just dropped it and smacked it directly onto my nose. So yeah. So yeah. Izuku go black. I almost did it. I almost did it. But I didn't do it. Oh, sorry about that, guys. I had to let that one out. Nope, not another one. Kind of wish there was though, because that would have been funny. Oh, we're close to. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, we're just gonna skip like Percy trains him how to use the sword and how to use a makeshift knife and a makeshift club out of something you pick up and like stuff like that. And he teaches him how to shoot guns. He hasn't taught him how to make them yet. But he's taught him a bit of engineering as well and the sciences. So yeah. Izuku got that big brain. Like, he ain't Nezu smart, but he's smart. Like, he was smart in canon. He was really smart in canon. Like, I think the only reason he didn't have top... Like, he had one of the highest grades in his class, I think. But he had some of the highest grades in his class. Like, he was really smart. He just really nervous and anxious. Like, you know how that goes. Like, yeah. Well, looks like I think I'm about to end the video soon. So yeah, we're just gonna skip ahead a few years. Like, Deku is really good at shooting. Like, he's not as good as Percy yet, but he's really good. and he's not as good as an engineer as Percy was yet. He's not as good as he's about as good as Percy with a sword, or a blade, or a dagger, or a club. I mean, like, Percy really only used like a blade, and like mostly like just a long sword or a, you know. But like I said again earlier, dexterity should rarely be used to define how much damage something does in a video game, or like in a general, like in on a crossbow. Okay, that makes sense. On a gun, because like you need dexterity to aim. Okay, say for a crossbow, but with a bow you need. But with a bow, because your physical strength doesn't affect how your aim is on those things, or like how much damage it does. Because like you can be pretty weak and still fire a crossbow. Doesn't change how much damage it does. So, you know, that's how Daddy is. Yeah. Come here, baby girl. Nah, I think I'm good, man. Yeah, I think I'm gonna get off here in just a moment. So yeah, like he doesn't fight Bakugo. Like Bakugo doesn't really pay attention to him. Like, he's just there. He's not some useless nobody that no one cares about, and like he's not some high mighty powerful person that has to be put in their place. Like he's just there. Like no one pays attention to him. Like he's invisible to Bakugo's radar. He's just so uninteresting. It's like, and Deku did this on purpose. Hello?
Hey, Dean.
I'm kind of in the middle of recording, so could you come back and I'll get to you in a minute.
Okay.
About to close it off. So yeah, where was I? Ow. Oh yeah, Deku's like just Izuku's not called Deku. He's just kind of called Shadow because he's just there. No one notices him. So like, yeah. Plus his quirk looks like a shadow, being like someone's being enveloped by a shadow. So yeah. So yeah. Izuku gonna be like, I almost did it again. Almost did it again. Yeah. So yeah. And yeah. That's all you guys really need to know about. Like I'd say that's about good for I think this is episode 2. Like it's come out directly after episode 1, but like I'm gonna keep going to I think I might keep going to 60 minutes. Or I'll keep going for a while. Man, I don't have anything to keep going on with though. And he's gonna be using rubber bullets in a real fight, and one side, and he's gonna be using dull blades mostly. Like he's gonna have a blade that's sharp, but only one. And it's an expanding blade he just has. Like he's gonna have his blade that he keeps on his side. So yeah. And Izuku's gonna wield. He's taught how to use the pepper box and bad news, and they make a few. Yeah, he knows how to make guns now, and like, as well as other things. Like he makes wrist-mounted crossbows. Cause like if he wants to be quiet, so he just like it's really quiet, and it's just a crossbow bolt. Like he has like 3 sharp ones and like a bunch of blunt. Like he like has like 1 sharp bolt. Or like he has like 10 sharp bolts and like 20 dull bolts. like when he actually becomes a hero. But like for now, it's just gonna be dull bolts, like crossbow bolts, not dolt, but like you know, not a dolt, not what Sasuke called Naruto. He called him dolt, right? That's what he called him. Anyway. Was it dope? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter right now. So, yeah. That's all you need to know about. So I'm gonna end the video off here. Have a good night. Make sure to stay hydrated. Or a good day or a good morning or whatever you're at, what time you're at right now. So, see you guys next time. Make sure to subscribe. Leave a like on the video. If you comment that you subscribed down in the comments, I might, good chance I'll heart your comment. So, you know, there's that. So, see you guys next time.